Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports. And man, we talked about how our spring started with the loss of some of the great racing people this sport has ever seen, ever known, ever been fortunate enough to have them be a part of it. And this last Saturday, we lost one of the most, I don't want to use the word legend, I want to use the word iconic, followed, loved or hated personality, but through and through, this guy was a racer. And when your initials just, everybody knows who you are through your initials. TC, Ted Christopher, a guy that, really didn't start his racing career until he was later on in life. Something that's unheard of nowadays. Every day everybody's starting at 4 or 5 years old at go-karts and works their way up through. And he didn't start go-karts till I believe he was already adult status, and turned that little go-kart career into probably, for this era, the greatest open-wheel modified driver that the race fans that are, been in the sport the last 20, 25 years have seen. I mean, the things he's done on the racetrack, not only in a modified, but in super late models or in ISMA super modifieds, but he made his name in a modified, running the tour type mods, whether it was the SK version at Stafford, the NASCAR Whelen All-American series at Thompson, the tour type mods, traveling all over. Wherever there was a race, Teddy was there, or Teddy was on his way to be there. And tragically, that's how he lost his life, was in a plane crash last weekend on his way to a tour race out in Riverhead, New York. And I met Teddy years ago. It was like 2000, I think it was 2005, and we met him down at they called them the Super Late Model Championships or World Championships down at Concord, North Carolina. We were down there with Mike Rowe, and me and Scott Poulin owned SP2, and Teddy was aware of us, we were aware of him, and he nicknamed us Pop Tart. He figured that was a good name for us because we looked like we ate a lot of Pop Tarts, and anybody that will tell you and talk about Teddy will tell you his sense of humor was as much a part of him as his on-track demeanor. And he was that class's version of Earnhardt. And if you went back and you went on YouTube and you watched races of Earnhardt, driver introductions, victory lane, all of it, everybody's standing up, everybody's got an opinion. There's the lovers and there's the haters, or as we call them, the boo birds. And that was Teddy Christopher, and he didn't shy away from it. He knew his role. He relished the role as a villain. He understood, kind of remind me of today's modern day Ralph Nason. Understood his role, understood he was a villain, and accepted it, and just wanted to win races. And you knew, on a night where you finished first, if TC was second, or he was on the podium with you, man, that win was a little extra special because you beat the best in the business. And everybody, and it's been so inspiring reading all the stories on Facebook about him, and and everybody will tell you, all the competitors, Justin Bonsignor, Ryan Preece, Doug Colby, all of these guys will tell you, you might not have had that friendship because he's old school and, he's there to win and at all cost, and just an amazing talent behind the wheel, but, just a great person out from behind the wheel, when you listen to the stories. And I've been fortunate enough to get to know Sean Waddell really well, and for 10 years, Sean from Waddell Communications spotted for Teddy. He was Teddy's spotter, and some of the stories, and we'll try to get him on as we get into the winter months and get prepared for the off-season shows. But some of the stories that he tells you, talks about spotting for Teddy, and just shows how much fun that guy was to race with, and I talked to Sean Saturday night, pretty heartbroken, as he was at Riverhead with his business, but he was also scheduled to spot for Teddy that night in the tour race as he drove the number 82 for Danny Watts, and unfortunately never made it there. and just a sad, sad day, not only in the modified racing world, but any type of racing. And Teddy was a guy that strapped in a race car and could do anything with it, and it didn't matter what it was. And I remember when he was running double duty down to New Smyrna a few years back. And you want to talk about a match made in heaven? Jake Cushman and Teddy Christopher. He wheeled Teddy's Super Late models down there, and success, won races, and they ran a couple other races together. And I remember him when he ran with Clinton Teague back in the Pro All-Star Series, and Mulkern as he won a race over to Stafford, and just an amazing talent. And I'll tell you, as we roll into New Hampshire Motor Speedway this upcoming weekend, it ain't going to be the same. And tells you what kind of person you are when NASCAR is kicking off the chase. First race in their playoff system for 2017, and they take a moment of silence for Ted Christopher. That tells you what he meant to the sport. And I know a lot of those Cup guys, as we saw them on Twitter with their condolences and everything, and those guys always look forward to getting up on top of them haulers. And every person, and if you're a race fan and you go to New Hampshire, or you've been to New Hampshire, you always knew where Teddy was on that track. If he was 12th or he was leading, you knew where he was. And the memory I'm going to take away from this and Teddy's life and Teddy's career is being down there at Bob Guptill's Short Track Showdown this past summer. And that was the last race of the day. And I talked to him earlier in that day, joking about everything, and still always wondering, because the big joke was, when you're going to put me in one of those fast 24s, that was always our joke between me and him and Poulin. We haven't had a fast 24 in I don't know how long, but that's always been our connection with Teddy. So we spent some time talking through the fence, and how he'd been, how was I up to, blah blah blah, all of that. But then during the race, I got to stand and lean on top of the fence on them rolling carts next to Dick Berggren, and I was getting a play-by-play from Dick Berggren, one of the legends in the sport. The whole play-by-play was not about the race, as we could only see what was scoreboard was doing, and from the 4-turn to the 1-turn. But the whole play-by-play coming from Dick Berggren right to me as we were standing there was Teddy's third, Teddy's second, Teddy's fourth. Here he comes. Watch this. There's a guy that's been to Victory Lane all over the country, interviewing the top stars of the sport all over the country. But he was as excited that day to be calling the shots, and just to me, I was the only one listening, talking about Teddy, and he was like that little kid going to his first race, because he knew we were watching something special, that we were watching every single time Teddy Christopher hit the racetrack, and in particularly New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And like I said, as they roll in this weekend, it's going to be very somber, and a lot's going to be different when there's no TC bouncing through the garage on his tiptoes, razzing people, nudging people, looking to get in their heads, and hopefully by the end of the day be standing in Victory Lane. So condolences and heartfelt prayers are out to the entire Christopher family, his team, the supporters that he had, and his race fans, and everybody, and all the track promoters, and everybody that just, when he was on the grounds, you knew it was going to be a good night. Some people were going to leave unhappy, but you were going to have a good crowd, and Teddy was in the house. So racing, and particularly modified racing throughout New England, not going to be the same anymore, as they've lost the legend, TC, Teddy Christopher.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. This is our biggest selection ever. Fifth wheels with savings up to $30,000. Big selection of toy haulers starting at only $19,999. 2018 SUV towable triple expandables starting at $19,699. Motorhomes, truck campers, and more. Financing available. Trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine. Winterport Dragway is celebrating 50 years of drag racing in 2017. We have our bracket racing on Sunday with 6 classes in action. The top divisions will make 4-second passes at over 150 miles an hour. Check out the Super Pros, the Pros, the Street, Bikes, Sleds, Junior Dragsters, and Teen divisions as they compete for championship points. Winterport Dragway has numerous special events throughout 2017. For more information on what's happening at Winterport Dragway, check them out on Facebook or go to winterportdragway.com.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham.
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Red and Judy McDonald's facility down there, Lee USA Speedway, wrapped up their point battle season this past weekend down there on Friday night. And 5 divisions, great racing, and champions were crowned. So we're going to bring you some highlights over the next couple segments, and congratulations to not only the winners of that night, but the champions. And they do a great job at their banquet, as I've seen pictures in the past, and them guys should be very proud. And they got a very special night coming up here very shortly as Lee USA Speedway, Red, Judy, Joe, the entire staff crown their champions, and it'll be a great night. And congratulations to all of them. But enjoy the highlights over the next couple segments of the racing this past weekend at Lee.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Looking for a great time, great people, and great food? Then visit New England's #1 biker destination, Bentley's Saloon, owned by legendary super modified driver Bentley Warren. Bentley's is a biker bar that welcomes everyone. Staying in the area, Bentley's has their own full-service campground right on site. Tuesdays, Bentley's Cruise Night attracts car enthusiasts from all over New England. Located on Route 1 in Arundel, Bentley Saloon guarantees a great time. Check out the fun at BentleySaloon.com and see why Bentley says, who has more fun than us?
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Wiscasset Speedway is back, and we have the cure for your need for speed. Maine's biggest and fastest proudly presents 8 feature divisions, including Pro Stocks, late models, 4-cylinder Pro Stocks, modifieds, and more. Plus special features throughout the season, including the Nelcar Legends, the Wicked Good Vintage Racers, the NEMA Midgets, Enduros, and more. All this fun, all this excitement, all for just $5. Wiscasset Speedway, west on the road, Wiscasset. Online at Facebook and WiscassetSpeedway.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Moody's Collision Centers, now with 7 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, Portland, Sanford, Lewiston, and now South Portland. Visit us at moodyscollision.com.
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Welcome to Mainely Motorsports.
To order copies of a show, send a check or money order for $15, shipping and handling included, to Mainly Motorsports, 326 Roosevelt Trail, Windham, Maine, 04062. And please add a description of the show.
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. And as you remember back early in the show, we were talking about New Hampshire Motor Speedway and their final fall race. And I encourage everybody to get out and support the track. Support what they've meant to us, you know. I mean, they're not losing a race because of their undoing, the facility, or even the racing, you know. There's economics. But you know what? We as race fans, as we stand around all summer and we encourage each other and encourage our team and our other friends and sponsors to get out and support short track racing. Well, I'm standing here and asking you to support New Hampshire Motor Speedway for all they've done for us as well as short track racing. You know, because technically they're just the biggest dog on the porch, but they're in the same business that we're all in. We need fans in the stands. We need supporters and sponsors. We need those people to support us. And New Hampshire Motor Speedway is no different. So, you know, this weekend with the modifieds, the K&N, you know, everything that's going on, trucks in action, just it's going to be a great time down there. And, you know, the modifieds, granted, they'll not be the same as they've been before, but they still put on a whale of a race down there. And looking forward to going down Saturday and then Sunday. And, you know, as the second race in the chase, which Martin Truex Jr., not a New Englander, but close enough, ran the old Busch North Series, has made his way into the next round, and I know there's going to be others, and you know, there's some guys that didn't have great races at Chicago that need to pick their game up as they want to make it to the next round, and you know, New Hampshire, that's your next race, so going to be a good time. They do a great job, Dave McGrath, Bill Quigley, the entire staff down there. Looking forward to getting down there. They got a pit crew challenge on, I believe, Friday night for the modified. So that was pretty fun last year, and going to be no different this year. And then the modifieds in action Saturday, the K&N. So it's a lot of racing going on down there. The ACT Invitational, you know, just yeah, big time down there. So going to be a good time. And Eddie McDonald, you know, going for his 11th or 12th New Hampshire Motor Speedway win. You know, I mean, he holds the all-time record, and just looking to add to that. So it'll be a great time. You can go to their website. Still plenty of tickets available. Saturday show is, like I said, always one of the best ones there is. And then Sunday as well. You know, the Cup guys in action. Somebody looking to join Martin Truex Jr. into the next round of the chase. So, like I said, get out there and support them guys for all they've done for us over the last 20 plus years, and they're not going away. They're just reconfiguring how to make the one cup race that they are going to continue to have that much more of a big deal. So we'll take a break and we'll come back and I want to talk about a car show that I've been promoting the last few weeks, and we went and checked it out, and man, what a great time we had, and hopefully they raised a boatload of money for an organization they're very heavily involved with.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
You don't have to wait until the end of camping season to get your best price. Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We're starting our end of season sale now. This is our biggest selection ever. Fifth wheels with savings up to $30,000. Big selection of toy haulers starting at only $19,999. 2018 SUV towable triple expandables starting at $19,699. Motorhomes, truck campers, and more. Financing available. Trades welcome.
Scott's Recreation, Turner and Manchester, Maine.
Legendary race car driver Bentley Warren is putting Arundel on the map. When Bentley's Saloon opened in 2004, it was just a little bar room on the side of the road. Today we have a giant saloon with live music, dancing, and great food and drink indoors and out. We're always looking to meet new friends and have a good old time. There's always something exciting going on at Bentley's. That's why we like to say, who has more fun than us? We do!
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a worn key. Where would you bring it? At what cost? And for how long? At E-Keys for Cars, our experienced technicians will diagnose your problem and get you going quickly with a fixed price quote. Whenever and wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars comes to you with a new key or ignition repair. Just call E-Keys for Cars, the fast, affordable mobile solution to your vehicle key and lock needs.
They raise the bar, E-Keys for Cars.
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Well, this past weekend we traveled over to his place, his place, my house, and that's 92 Mudgee Road over in Parsonsfield, the home of Richard Humphrey, Humphrey and Sons Logging. They put on the Autism Awareness Car Show, and I didn't know what to expect. Never been. Figured they'd have some cars, some people. I mean, I know the numbers they've said in the past that they've raised, so, there's got to be some people that show up to raise that kind of money. And as we crested the hill and come over the hill, man, I couldn't believe what I saw. The road was lined on both sides with spectators' vehicles, fields, people's houses, cars everywhere. But the amount of cars, I think they said they had over 160 cars that came and registered and donated their time and their efforts, and for nothing more than to support autism and autism awareness. And really proud of what the Humphreys do to get the word out and do all they can do. They spend all the money putting it on with the food, and it was a tremendous amount of food, with the pig roast and the hot dogs and the hamburgers and everything, and then an auction, and just a huge family affair. And they should be very proud of themselves, and we really enjoyed it. And the day was capped off with some burnouts, right on the private drive, and I'll tell you, that's pretty neat. And a little hairy there, a couple of them. They looked like they weren't really in control of the situation, but nobody got hurt, thank goodness, and it was really a good time and a great chance to catch up with some old friends, and really love getting out to some of these different events and hearing from the people and talking with Dick Obie, who's doing a great job with us and was out there and having a ball with filming these cars and the burnouts. Got there before me. He's like, man, people see my shirt. I got Mainly Motorsports on. They're, oh, we love it with this. So it's really good to hear from you guys that you're enjoying what we're doing and enjoy what we do. And I know it makes my guys, really happy, and they appreciate it, and I really appreciate it. So enjoy some highlights from the 6th annual Autism Awareness Car Show that took place out at my place in Parsonsfield.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Ewart's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Mainely Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs. Town Fair Tire, with 6 locations in Maine: Auburn, Augusta, Bangor, Biddeford, South Portland, and Topsom.
White Mountain Motorsports Park brings you door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel racing action each and every Saturday night, with 5 divisions competing each week between the Kids Trucks, the Dwarfs, and the Strictly Minis, the Tiger Division, as well as the Late Model Sportsman. The racing is intense. You're sure to come away wanting more. Located on 463 Daniel Webster Highway in North Woodstock, New Hampshire, this quarter-mile High Bank Oval is a fan-friendly, family-oriented facility. For schedules and more information, go to the website. That's White Mountain Motorsports Park.
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports. And the last segment, car show. This segment, car show. The granddaddy of them all, the big one, takes place this weekend, Sunday, over at Bentley's. Their last show of the year, and usually they are approaching, weather permitting, over 200 cars. So I encourage you to get there, support them, see some of the coolest and neatest things you'll ever see, and still plenty of time to get out. If you haven't made your stop to Bentley's yet this year, why? Why haven't you been there? Still plenty of time. Go to the website. They still got a lot of things going on. They have the Halloween contest coming up. They just do a lot of stuff, and it's just a fun place to be. And Bentley has a ball, and still plenty of time to go get your tour at the museum by Mac, and before the winter sets in and all of that. So this weekend, Sunday, the car show at Bentley's. They wrap up their years. They've had a great year of car shows. So we encourage you to get over there and check that out. So that's Bentley Saloon, 1601 Portland Road in Arundel. And if you missed the car show, you still got another 5 or 6 weeks to get over there before they close up for the season.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been street car divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil, and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil Division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
If nostalgia drag racing is something that excites you, you need to check out Gassa Guys Nostalgia Racing at Winterport Dragway in 2017. From the old school flags starting to the sleek looking machines of yesterday, the Gassa Guys Nostalgia Racing will be fun for all ages. Winterport Dragway has a nostalgia campout weekend once a month beginning in May running through October. Come see what racing was like 50 years ago. Go to winterportdragway.com for the 2017 schedule and other additional information.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
It's playoff time for the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. Don't miss the ISM Connect 300 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. The biggest sporting event in New England is more than a race. It's a wicked fun fan weekend with a tailgate that lasts 9 days. It's families coming together and saying thank you to an old friend. Get your tickets now for the ISM Connect 300, September 24th at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Kids tickets are just $10. It's NASCAR, New England style.
Well, as we wrap up this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, we started off with somber, the loss of, a true on-track champion. The guy had more wins. They say 400 wins, and just never replace him. But we also up here in Maine lost a member of the racing family that, I don't know if he had 4 wins. But you know what? He was as much a part of the sport as a guy with 400 wins, and that's Ron Bryant, driver of the number 33 modified up to Wiscasset Speedway. And Ron passed away this past weekend, at, young age in his 40s, unexpectedly, and just a shame. And another guy taken from us. And like I said, we weren't, when the guy rolled on the track, unless you were a family member, a friend, or a fan of his, you really probably weren't paying attention to what was going on, because he wasn't going to make the highlight reel, and if he did, it was probably going to be something that wasn't going to be good for him, a bad wreck or something happened. And but you know what, he was there every week supporting the track, supporting the other racers. He was a mentor to the young racers, always there, willing to lead advice, and not make any promises of what would take him to victory lane and all that, but how to be a true racer. And the sport needs more people like Ron Bryant, and he was involved in the RC racing and all of that stuff. And just a shame that the sport and how quickly life can change. And Ron Bryant just loved racing, and just loved everything about the sport, and just wanted to be involved in the sport. Wasn't making a name for himself, wasn't going to NASCAR, wasn't going tour racing, wasn't doing anything but other just going racing, and the camaraderie and the people, and what a perfect place for a guy like that is Wiscasset Speedway. So, heartfelt condolences to, not only the Bryant family and the people involved closely with Ron, but his racing family. The people at Wiscasset. Is such a tough loss, and just such a shame. And just, we don't need this, and it just shows how quickly life can change in the blink of an eye. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Mainly Motorsports. Like I said, get out and support New Hampshire Motor Speedway, their last fall race in the championship chase hunt. And still a lot of short track racing. We got some big events coming up, and we'll touch on some of them coming up in the upcoming weeks. And you can plan your weekends and plan your schedules. There's some big ones coming up.
Making everyone complain, radio in the heart. Don't be being so strange, think I'm losing it. Baby, where have you been? Everybody says that you're moving again. I don't wanna be right, baby, every single night. And I could tell you a thing about taking your time. It's making me nervous, yeah. One step at a time, don't be taking